There's so much to tell you. I can't wait. It's all these things.
Founders, when you're answering Q&A questions, look at the audience. Great question.
I need to stand anywhere in particular?
Yeah, so right about here between the cups.
Okay.
Yeah, but not too far front.
Not too far up front. Okay. Kamai kala I ka maka o ka opua, o ka lahi kina o ka lehua, hui a ke ala o ka maile, mai ka poli o ke o pohali a ia, e aloha mai. E aloha ka lehua I ka maka o ka opua. E aloha mai. E aloha ka lehua I ka maka o ka opua. Aloha nui kako, aloha. Aloha. My name is Pomai Kalani Bartleman. I come from Waimea, Hawai'i. And it has been my pleasure, my honor, and my fortune to be able to spend time consistently this year, this year with Nalukai. I've been blessed to be a part of this ohana now for about the last 5 years or so, and have found that every time I left, I was waiting to come back. And I was waiting to come back because what I see and who I see each time that Nalukai brings people together, brings our hamana together and our pio of Hawai'i together, I see our kids. Every time we come back, we're able to hear stories from different places, from different venues, and different types of different walks of life. I promise this is not scripted. And so first of all, to all of the founders this year, 2023, you guys are amazing. You guys rock. And I'm so proud of all of you. Quite I do. In my own words, I believe that Nalukai is founded upon the principle and the papa, the foundation. That if we expose and give our students our hamana opportunity, our opio opportunity, that they can do anything. And for the parents and the families that are joining us today in-house, and to those of you who are joining us online, please know that when you send your opio to us, when you send your opio to Nalukai, one, they're in good hands. Two, they have amazing exposure to people that, even for my brain, like blew my mind. And that they're also safe and in a good place. So I wanted you folks to know that as well. And so to all of those who make Nalukai possible, from Baba, Darius, myself, to the team of Nalukai, mahalo, mahalo, mahalo. Pai, pai, pai. When you leave us today, what I want you to do is potentially leave us through this door, or if you go out that door, go around. The Hamana, the ROPO this year were introduced to this place of Waiakea. And they were introduced to this space of Waiakea through imagery that they saw on campus. Imagery that came in the form of murals. I believe on campus they saw roughly about three to four of them. And each one of these murals told a story that is much older than we are. It told a story of footprints and imprints that were left here by kupuna who valued this Waiakea home space as their home space, as their core, and as everything that they became. And so imagery was a great part of who we were and who we became in these last 2 weeks. It became really important to us, and I will share our story, and then it is my turn to move on. The mo'olelo that I will share with you today is 2 parts. The first part of it comes from our teacher, Papa P.S. Mopialu, who many years ago said to those who are in the process of learning navigation and relearning navigation here in Hawaii, you folks are too old. At the ripe age of 29, you're too old. Give me your children. right? Let's let that sink in a little bit. You're too old, give me your keiki. Give me your children. And what he meant by that was, you are too old in age. And potentially, our keiki, our kamaiki, our pepe, our opio are at the right age and time to be able to be sponges and to learn and to take in and to practice and practice and practice and practice until they can ho'okama'aina and ho'oma'ama'a themselves to that and pili themselves to the kuleana. So I offer that mana'o first. With that mana'o, I share that this opio is right. They're in the process of ho'okama'aina. They're in the process of ho'oma'ama'a. They're in the process of pilina. And we've been able to watch that. We've been able to observe that. We've been able to be a part of that. In Nalukai, mahalo nei. The last mo'olelo I have is one that we experienced together. I believe in our 4th day, we went to Honohononui. We went to Haleolono in Keaukaha and had the ability to stand at the gate together and to offer our leo through those who are pili to hilo and pili to waiakea, pili to hanani, to be able to get us in through the door. You see, because it's always important from our context, the lens of Hawai'i, that we go to a space and we observe and we watch and we request to enter. And that when we request and the answer is gifted so that we can enter, that the time there is going to be spent well. So at Haleolono, we did a few things, right? What did we do? What did we do? We pulled grass. Well, it wasn't just any grass, it's California grass. We have the scars to show, to prove that. What else did we do? We took the grass out of the rock wall so that we can, the rocks in the walls can be exposed again. We made really big piles of this grass so that we could go ahead and reuse it and put it into a compost area. There came a period of time when we had 2 really big piles of this grass and of all of this ma'u that we had picked, that we needed to now move or hali from one part of the aina to that part of the aina. And we did it very nicely. We had cute little bundles and we were passing it up, hand over hand, and it went very, very well. And then we started to move it along a little bit more, and we started to gain traction, and we started to help ourselves to move quickly because we found a routine. We found our cadence, we found our pacing, and in doing so, we were able to see our productivity. Then there came a time where we got done with one pile, and then we got to move to the next pile. But man, that is a big pile, as big as the first one, and we're like, oh, this is tiring. It's a little bit irritating. Can we wrap it up? Nonetheless, the job got to get done. And nonetheless, nobody gave up. Nonetheless, we finished well. And yet there was a reminder at one point. On day 8, like this pile that we still have to tackle, you're going to be tired. You're going to find yourself consumed by work. And you're going to want to say, the heck with this. We all looked at the pile together. We all assessed what we needed to do. And because we had already done and created a routine with the first pile, we were able to malama the kuleana of taking care of all that needed to be done. E Nalukai, me ka'iloa. So to the ohana again who are here in space with us today, to the ohana who are joining us online, to this wahi of waiakea in Hilo, to all the kupuna who are here with us in impression, in heart, in mind, or in the physical. Ke aloha no. Thank you for joining us. Aloha no.
Hi guys, my name is Shiloh Arkia and I was a member of the 2021 cohort.
Aloha everyone, I'm Jasmine Valoria and I was a part of Nalukai Academy's 2020 virtual cohort.
Both me and Charlotte graduated from Maui High School and were a part of their arts and communication pathway. On June 29th, our digital media teacher, Clint Gima, passed away. He was the clearest embodiment of tough love. Nothing he did was dull, sugar-coated, or done without a purpose. Within Gima's classes, he implemented and idolized a project-based learning system. He was the embodiment, or he had a clear vision of what education should and could look like. If you took his digital media class, he didn't care if you actually wanted or liked it at the end. All he cared was that you figured out what you liked and what you didn't like. And if what you liked or didn't like was not found in his class, he put you with the right mentors and opportunities to make sure that you were where you're supposed to be. Outside of class, he offered us a lens of maturity. Students like me and Charlotte would go into his classroom and rant about the silliest things, ranging from grades, friendships, to the classic high school drama we all know. He'd listen but always respond in the same way. Aren't you guys 12-year-olds? It humbled and reminded us to always put things into perspective. In the moment, it always made us laugh, but looking back, it was a good reminder to spend our energy wisely. And instead of worrying about these minute, uncontrollable details, put your energy towards something you can control that would advance the community. He pushed students to apply the creative media skills set towards community events, organizations, and small businesses. He encouraged many of us to seek past the in-class required assignments and look towards real-world opportunities. One of these real-world opportunities was Nalukai Academy. He has written numerous recommendation letters and cultivated the storytellers that have attended, both me and Charlotte being two of them. He was the embodiment of what authenticity was supposed to be. He showed me the power of showing up for people. He showed me that actions speak more than words, and no matter if they're poking fun, that they always come from a good place. To honor our teacher, Nalukai dedicates this program to him.
Thank you, Jazz and Shyla. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I am Austin Stewart. I am the Executive Director of Nalukai Foundation. Nalukai, if you do not know, is a 501c3 here on Moku'oke'awe that aims to accelerate the professional development of our Hawaii youth through unique entrepreneurship training experiences. And Clint Gima, who we just got a very moving tribute to, is only one of many incredible people who have helped us in this journey from 2016 to where we are now. This is really just the tip of the iceberg of facilitators, consultants, mentors, curriculum developers who have made this possible. So we got our start in 2016 as a hacker camp, developed further in 2017 and 2018 as a startup program really grounded in Hawaiian cultural values. In 2020 and 2021, we had to do a hard pivot onto online, but still bring with us the values that we had created in our in-person program of grounding in place. And what you see sort of in 2022 and 2023 is this realization of a true cultural, social, and commercial entrepreneurship program for youth that generates incredible outcomes, and one that's been recognized congressionally. So it's been quite a journey to this point, and we're immensely thankful to our champions like Clint Gima that have gotten us to this point. This is a historic occasion. This is our 10th cohort. We are in double digits now. We have had more than 900 student applications to our program since 2016, underscoring the incredible need for this unique and necessary training in our community. We have 200 alumni now, and we're about to make 226. 2/3 of our alumni go on to pursue entrepreneurship in their lives following camp. And we've now reached $225,000 worth of laptops donated to students to help them achieve their professional and academic goals. A lot of that is thanks to our donors, and this camp is actually sponsored by Hawai'i Community Foundation's Connected Learning Grant, the Koipan Bridges DAF, the Kukio Community Fund, and Alaska Airlines. We're immensely thankful to our donors to be able to deliver this experience for our students. So immense mahalo to HCF, Koipan, Kukio, and Alaska for making this program possible. And with that, I'd like to introduce our lead facilitator, May Somali, to tell you a little bit about the curricular experience that our students have received these past 10 days.
Thank you, Austin. Wonderful to be here. My name's May. I'm actually visiting from Australia. This camp is so unique that it's one of the highlights of my year, and I have to make sure that July is free so that we can come over and meet these incredible founders. One of the things that I was really fascinated by about Nalukai is it's not just any startup camp. Although it's called the startup camp, the thing that makes Nalukai really unique is that it weaves 3 unique threads into the tapestry of what we call this startup camp. And I wanted to give you a bit of a glimpse as to some of the programming that our students are exposed to here. So with the generous help of our incredible facilitators, our team leaders, Alan Murabayashi, Carlo, Liquido, Austin, Stuart himself, we've been able to create a program that really is relevant to the needs and skills and competencies we're trying to build in our young founders to become contributors not only as entrepreneurs, but as whole people and whole contributors in our society today. So the first element is really when our founders arrive at camp, they have a diverse range of interests. Some of them are at public schools, private schools, charter schools, different islands. They come in with diverse interests ranging from energy conservation, environment, to food security, cultural preservation. And what we do throughout these 10 days, the arc of a camp, is find a way not only to help the students work together in teams, but working them through, firstly, the entrepreneurial method. So we work them through problem identification. How do you actually get to the root of the problem that you're trying to solve? Is what you think the problem is really the problem? Or is it possible to go deeper and deeper into the trunk, what we call, of the problem tree? We also then help them ideate. What are the potential ways that you can actually solve this problem? Often our first assumption about the best way to solve it goes untested, and so we really encourage the founders to get out there, to talk to experts in the community, validate their assumptions, all the way to today through Hōʻike, where they're able to actually present to you where their solution is up to, their plans for solving these really important problems. Thinking about how we're going to fund the problem, how feasible is it, and how does it actually get to solving the root problem that we've identified. So that's one part of what makes Nalukai really relevant and special, the entrepreneurial method. But it doesn't stop there, and I think the 2 next threads are what really differentiates this camp to many of the other entrepreneurship camps we see across the US and frankly globally. So the second really relates to this cultural piece. Auntie Pomai kicked us off today with beautiful acknowledgement of this place that we inhabit today. Culture and place-based inquiry and learning has been such a pivotal part of Nalukai. Our founders really get to experience the sacredness of the land in which we're inhabiting, the cultural practices that are really relevant to understand, to know, to learn about as part of developing these ventures that they're exploring. And so we've been able to do this not only through bringing incredible cultural practitioners in, but also by having cultural practices like site visits where students really get to learn more about the particular places where some of the problems that they're solving take place. And then the third thread that is really woven into the program relates to this whole person development. We want to build founders who are not only able to solve problems through the entrepreneurial method with cultural sensitivity, but founders who are self-aware, who have leadership capabilities. That personal leadership development is really important. And it's been such a pleasure to get to know each and every one of these founders, watching them blossom into teams that are not only functioning as 3 or 4 members coming together, but cohesive teams that can solve conflict, that can make executive decisions, that can collate around a common problem, even though they come from diverse backgrounds and perhaps experiences and passions, and really be able to not only understand themselves, the place that they occupy in the community, and finding their voice through this process. So being able to really develop their leadership skills, their social and emotional skills, has been a really pivotal part of this program. And what I've been really excited by is seeing each of our founders find different ways to lead, not only as leaders at the front, where you'll see them today leading and sharing and presenting their pitches with you, but also leading from behind. Being able to support each other, leading from the side, and really that sense of collegiality and community that has been a critical part of the success of them starting day 1 as strangers who didn't know each other to now, day 10, incredible ventures that they're going to present to you. So with that having been said, the 10-day program has really taken our students to a place where they're now going to be able to share their pitches with you. We haven't given them that much coaching, but they've had a bit of feedback these last couple days on their pitches. We've seen them come a long way, lots of pivots, lots of iteration, and really the goal has been to focus on storytelling, taking us through a journey, helping us connect with the problem, why the problem matters to them as founders and inhabitants here in Hawaii, and what we can do as an audience to help our wonderful founders actually take these solutions and make them come to life. So I'm going to now pass over to our wonderful camp director, David Clark, who I've had the pleasure of working with over these last couple of years, to introduce our wonderful founders and the team leaders who have been the leaders from behind over these last 10 days. Thank you.
Aloha kako. I'm David Clark. I have the great good fortune to have worked with the 2023 Nalukai Fund. In 2016, former student of mine, Darius Monsef, also known as Bubs, who founded me this year, had a vision to start a program for Hawaii high school students that was free of charge to all. To equip them each with a laptop, a tool that he used to start 2 very successful businesses that he had sold. And when he moved his family back to this island, he said, I want to offer young people in this state the opportunity that I had to figure out along the way. Can we teach them some shortcuts so that they could see themselves not only as leaders, but perhaps leaders that could affect change in our state? He assembled a team. Starting in 2016, our first cohort came through. An original member of that instructional staff was Mr. Aaron Shorn, who, as he said, hijacked the camp and made sure that the student voice was prominent throughout the whole endeavor. And that has been a through line from Nalukai. Along the way, what we realized was if students were going to be starting businesses here in Hawaii, they had to understand the culture of this place. I'm sorry, I'm moved by your opening, Pomai. Thank you so much. Having someone like Pomai be a part of this program as a cultural practitioner who has sailed literally around the world on a sailing vessel that showed that the Hawaiians were the greatest navigators without modern instrumentation the world ever saw. And for students to understand that history and other history of this wonderful place, if they're going to do business here, they should be aware of that history. They should be inspired by that history. They should inform their plans, their projects, the problems they want to solve, the solutions they came up with. So along the way, you're out of frame.
They can't see you. They can't
Aloha, everybody. And so along the way, we've had 10 cohorts that have been inspired by industry professionals, innovative educators, and increasingly cultural practitioners. As we stood at the gate at Haleolono, welcomed by Luka Kanahele of the Edith Kanaka-Ole Foundation, I looked and I saw that we had 26 students from 19 high schools, 4 islands, Mokuokeawe, Oahu, Kauai, and Maui, assembled, asking permission with the help of our representatives who olied a request to be allowed to enter in, to offer our hana, our work together on behalf of this place. And in doing so, being inspired by this incredible fish pond, this local ia, that the practitioners and stewards of that place know is in threat, that will not be here much longer. And yet the practice of learning how to maintain a place like this is essential. And so I'm here to remind you all today that you are witnessing, yes, a showcase, a product, a service, an advocacy plan for making change and solving problems rooted in inspiration of this incredible place. But I'm also here to remind you that it's part of a larger process, that their pitches today, they will continue to iterate on and think about and figure out how they can be better. I want to let you know that they came together largely as strangers just about 11 days ago. And they have learned how to work together as a team. And they have learned how to work together as a hui that truly, genuinely care about each other in ways that might surprise you. And I think you'll probably pick that up today. If you were a facilitator here, would you please stand up? I'd like to acknowledge some people that were with us today. Everybody in the front row over here, Kari, you included. This is the staff that works to create the structure of Nalukai. Austin Stewart, Aaron Sean, Homai Bertelman, May Somali, Carlo Liquido, Alan Murabayashi, who I think is probably watching us either from Honolulu or New York City. Hello, Alan. Emma Pavich, Melissa Kaufman, and some of our guest speakers, Iini Kahakalau, Darius Monsef, Kai Lin and Koa from Ho'alahani, Leah Safina, Joel Kabasa, Chad Paishan, and as well, Kavika and Paoa Shook, thank you for being with us today. I also want to thank Nathan Weir, who came back from being a 2019 cohort member and has come back to be a team leader and has helped us over the years with anything that kind of needs doing. He's our logistical coordinator in a lot of ways. I want to thank Kari Clark, who joined us this year as Nalukai's CFO. I also want to thank you, facilitators, you can have a seat. If you are a team, thank you. If you were a team leader, please stand up. Team leaders, come on up here real quick. I'd like you to stand up in front and please. If you were a team leader, please join me. Please introduce yourself with your name, where you are from, and what cohort you were a part of.
Hi everyone, my name is Janice Farbro. I'm here from Oahu, from Kailua, and I had the privilege of working with the group who you will be seeing actually first, Aluna, and I'm really excited to see, have them showcase all the work that they've been putting into this project over the past few days.
Aloha, Awawa Shah, and I am from the Ili of Haunani in Puna, and I was a part of the 2022 cohort.
Hi, my name is May Kanata. I'm from Kailua Kona on the Big Island, and I was a part of the 2022 summer cohort.
Hi everyone, my name is Dyson Chi. I'm from Honolulu, Hawaii, specifically Ala Moana, and I was part of the 2020 virtual guinea pig cohort.
Aloha, my name is Kami Nakagawa, and I was a part of the virtual 2021 cohort, and I'm from Maui.
Hi, my name is Annabelle Inc., and I'm from Mililani, Oahu, and I was a part of the 2021 cohort as well.
Hello everyone, I'm Jasmine Delora, and I was a part of the 2020 virtual cohort. I'm from Maui.
Thank you, team leaders. And now, if you are a 2023 founder, please come up. Please come up quick, let's go. This is your cohort from 2023. Please join me up front. Please join me up front. Please squeeze in. And we're going to go from left to right. Please introduce yourself with your name, what school you went to or are going to, or both, and what island you're from.
How's it, everybody? I'm Kaden Hong. I'm from Hōʻike on Oahu, and I am a senior at Kaiser High School.
Hi, I'm Ronson Lopez. I just graduated from Waipahu High School, and I'm from Pearl City, Oahu.
Hi everyone, my name is Amia Das. I just graduated and I'm homeschooled, and I'm from the island of Maui.
Hi everyone, I'm Noah Santiago, and I'm from Maui High School. Aloha, my name is Kaniela. I go to Iolani, and I live on Oahu.
Hi everybody, my name is Dylan Kablayan. I'm a junior at Farrington High School, and I'm from Kalihi in Honolulu.
Hi, I'm Lana Quarry. I'm from the Big Island, and I am a rising junior at Parker School.
Hi, I'm Kim Ashley Sunyo, and I'm a rising senior at Monolua High School.
Hi, I'm Gavin Bundrock. I'm from Poa on Big Island. I go to Poa High School. I'm a rising junior.
Hi everyone, my name is Ariana McGurk. I'm a rising senior at Kalaheo High School in Kailua, Oahu.
Hi, I'm Molly McFarland. I'm a rising senior at Waimea High School, and I'm from Kauai.
Hi, my name is Sherry Jang. I'm from Kailua Kona. I just graduated Kealakekua High School, and I'm going to Germany for an exchange.
How's it, everybody? My name is Adam Manchetta. I'm from Oahu, Hawaii, and I go to Mid-Pacific, and I'll be attending Northeastern University next year.
Hello, my name is Koa Chang, and I'm from Ainahaina, Oahu. I just graduated from Kamehameha Schools Kapalama, and will be attending Stanford University.
Hello, my name is Sean. I go to Pono School, and I'm from Oahu.
Hello, my name is Noah Kanaele. I'm a rising senior at Kamehameha Schools Kapalama. I'm from Oahu.
Hi, my name is Jada. I just graduated from Kamehameha Kapalama, and I'm from Nu'uanu, Oahu.
Hi everybody, my name is Dane Kiahi. I live in Alepa Heights, Oahu, and I just graduated from Kamehameha Kapalama.
Hi everyone, my name is Derek Kalagan, and I'm from Kailua Kona, and I'm going to be a rising junior at Kealakekua High School.
Hi, I'm Nanichigo. I'm a rising senior at Kealakekua High School on the Big Island.
Aloha, I'm Kamaka Frasco, and I just recently graduated from Kipula Navio Kalaniao Pu'u, and I'll be attending the University of Hawaii at Hilo, and I'm from the Big Island.
Hi there, I'm Noah Siegelstone. I just graduated from Waikea High School. I live in Hilo, and yeah.
Hi everyone, I'm Kamana Call. I just graduated from Kamehameha Schools Kapalama. I'm attending Stanford University, and I'm from Kaneohe, Oahu.
Hello, my name is Nahi Lewis. I'm from Keokala, Hawaii, and I just graduated from Kamehameha, Hawaii.
Aloha, I'm Kaidi Guzman. I'm a rising senior at Wailua High School on Oahu.
Hi, my name is Tarini Godbole. I just graduated from Waikea High School in Hilo, and I'll be at Brown University next year.
It has been our great privilege to work with this incredible group of young people. It's reassuring to know. It's reassuring to know that amid so many challenges that we face on island, across the islands, in our country, in our world, that we have young people as committed, purposeful, passionate about solving problems and collaborating with each other. They truly, truly learned how to do that this past 10 days. And it has been our honor to work with you. I now turn it over to Mr. Aaron Shorn.
Founders, AO! AO! Take a deep breath in. Let it out. Forget the script. Lead with Ha. Our first team.
Can anyone here tell me what percentage of Hawaiians do not live in Hawaii? Anyone?
72.
What was your guess?
72.
72%? Anyone else?
30.
30%. One more.
5.
50.
40.
40. It's actually 50%, or 370,000 Native Hawaiians. These Hawaiians or locals are not willingly wanting to leave Hawaii. They're being forced out. It's a phenomenon of being priced out of paradise. And it's led to a generation of Hawaiians who are native to the culture, but not native to the land. Couple that with the fact that local artists and designers are not able to reach younger generations has led them to be forced into a niche, small market here in Hawaii. That's been contributing to an economic problem, a larger one. Local small businesses and brands having to shut down or move their productions. So let's quickly recap. Firstly, Native Hawaiians are being priced out of paradise, forced to leave. People want authentic connection to Hawaiian culture. Those Hawaiians that had to move are looking for ways to reconnect with their roots, and the Hawaiians who have not yet been to Hawaii or not yet connected to Hawaiian culture are looking for ways to get that connection. Also, as we mentioned, Native Hawaiians are not being connected, are looking for connections but forced to be in niche markets. And lastly, local artists and designers are struggling. So what is the solution? Well, the current solution, right here. Boxes filled with tiki cups, wooden coasters, and coconut bowls. This isn't just unauthentic, it's actually offensive. Could you imagine being Native Hawaiian, forced to leave Hawaii because it's too expensive, and you're looking for a way to reconnect with your culture, looking for a way to bring Hawaii to home, and that's what you're being sold? To be clear, there's nothing wrong with people buying these products, Hawaiian or not. People are interested in Hawaiian culture. They want to learn more about it. They want it in their house. But the issue with this is it's not the real thing. It's a false version. And to the Hawaiians who are buying this, they're not actually getting what they want. But as you can see right here, sold out. An Etsy store with over 340 reviews. There's a market demand for this. People are looking to buy these products, but they're not actually what they want. They're not actually what the Hawaiian culture is. They're not true, authentic local brands and products. That's why we created Uluna.
So, who exactly is a luna? The definition of a luna is the center of a fishing net. It represents our goal to weave together local communities and the Hawaiians that are far away from home. But you guys are not here for that definition today. Uluna is a box brand that focuses on empowering local artists and designers, one box at a time. Our curated box service allows people to connect back with their roots by representing Hawaii, supporting local, and wearing culture. We're in collaboration with local brands to focus on curating a box that is a reflection of Hawaii's culture and essence. We are putting a twist on the way that locals shop and dress. We are increasing our box market. We're increasing advertisement through box marketing by directing this market to thousands all over the world. And lastly, we're engaging target audiences by working with schools and youth designers.
So I know you guys are dying to know. What's in the box? This is the Nalukai set. It features 2 button-up shirts, a pair of pants, and a hat. As you can see, companies like Sig Zane and Salvage Public aren't exactly cheap, but that price is justified by the premium goods we provide and the carefully curated collections that are specifically catered to make fashion and outfit building easy and convenient. Next, the Puna set, for a more streetwear perspective. And for the Wahine, the Pakalana set. And the Pua Keni Keni set, for all you beachgoers. So who are we? I'm Sean Jung. I've entered at the Honolulu City Council under Councilmember Tyler Dos Santos Tam. I'm a founder of a startup called EcoBox, and I specialize in design, marketing, and financial accounting.
Hi, I'm Nalukai Go. I'm the website designer and the social media manager for Uluna as well, and I have 5+ years in customer service
which is helpful in implementing target audiences' feedbacks.
I'm Noah Kanahele. I have experience in entrepreneurship. I've interned at Startup Capital Ventures, and I've experienced working with venture capital, experience in looking at entrepreneurs, looking how they pitch. So I bring the experience of pitching to investors and running a business and working with other entrepreneurs. At the same time, but more importantly, I've also worked at organizations like Mana Up and Purple Maia, two brands, one that is looking to bring global scale and global exposure to local brands, and the other looking to empower youth, local designers, and artists. So why us? Well, first, we're a strong team with a with a network of successful entrepreneurs and mentors.
We are a unique service in an untapped market with no direct competitors.
And there's significant opportunity with the potential for global scalability. But more importantly, we're a group of young, enthusiastic, and passionate entrepreneurs who believe in uplifting local designers and fostering a genuine connection to Hawaii. We're excited to announce that within the last 3 days, we've already made our first partnership with Lola Miller. After speaking with Kimo Miller, the founder and co-owner of Simply Sisters, we already have our first partnership, and we are in contact with a multitude of brands such as Sig Zane, Hawaiiverse, and Jam's World, just to name a few. And after speaking with countless people, there is a strong interest in buying our product.
So where are we going? Well, first, we're looking for global scalability. We want to scale this not only nationally, but we want to bring global exposure and revenue to local brands and designers. Secondly, we want to expand on our actual business. The box marketing and boxes itself has so much potential. We're already discussing ideas. Imagine a box for keiki or toddlers, or a box that involves educational content like local games and cards. That's just the tip of the iceberg, and we just want to expand. So. Also, we are wanting to empower local artists and designers, and we're looking to do that through igniting a new generation of youth artists and designers by working with high schools and other youth. But we need your help. If Uluna is a brand that you want to get behind, you want to see succeed, if empowering local artists, designers, and brands on a global scale is something you'd like to see, or you're interested in our boxes, we'd love for you to scan our barcode, leave your email, and we can talk story with you. We are Uluna. Mahalo.
Now is the time for the Q&A. I'll start off, but those online, those in attendance, now is your time to dive into some inquiry and ask some questions. My first question for you is around pivots. Nalukai definitely talks about the art of a pivot, and your group made so many. I wanted to start with you. Can you tell me about that process?
So, our original idea, it was something that we were just like, it's viable, but it wasn't something we were really passionate about. So I made another pivot to another idea, but then we had you facilitators come into the room and you're just like, that's not really how you should do things. And then we had another pivot. And then so many pivots after that, we landed on this idea, which I think is just wonderful, and we're all passionate about it, and we're all like speaking really like happily about it. So I'm glad we made this pivot, though it took us 10 times.
Questions from the audience? Founders, audience members, facilitators. Go for it.
So since you pivoted so many times, what was the biggest challenge? Was it the pivot or was it something else? What was the biggest challenge you faced with this?
I think pivots are healthy. I think startups are analogous to maybe raising a child. You need to be passionate about that process, and it is a difficult one. But if you're not behind it, or okay, let's say like a plant then, like growing, just to like lessen the harshness of it. But I think pivots are important because if your team isn't passionate about the process, it's very difficult to get it off the ground. So I think more than the pivots, I think the pivots kind of helped us, I would say. It wasn't difficult.
What did you learn about leadership through this, creation of Uluna?
I think going into this, you have the perspective, when you have past leadership experience, that it's just another leadership, another time to be a leader. And not only through the Nalukai experience, but through working with my team, I realized like how freaking hard it is to lead, how hard it is to be in a position that you're not used to. In leadership, we learn at Nalukai that there is so many different ways of leading. I was only accustomed with the traditional version or traditional idea that you lead from the front, you bring your team behind you. But with this, with our startup and this group, that wasn't the case for me. So I had to venture into a new experience, a new position, and I had to learn how to lead from there. That's what I learned.
There's someone online that wants to know if there's going to be a subscription option.
It's in the making. We're looking into that, yes. But there is. It's coming up.
What was the reason behind the name change?
So we had a multitude of different names, and if you actually go on our website, you can see our original idea and our original name on the domain. But we felt that it was necessary for it to be Hawaiian because of what our brand is, right? We can't be saying we're going to do this and then our brand is something in English. We wanted to stay truly authentic and rooted. And this name was actually given and suggested by amazing Auntie Pomai. And the meaning behind Aluna, as we discussed, is the center of the fishnet. And I think that encapsulates what our mission is and what our brand is. We want to bring global connectivity to Hawaiian products and to Hawaiian brands. And I think a fishnet is a beautiful allegory or a beautiful analogy to do that. Go for it.
It's more of a comment, because a lot of big companies on the mainland have API rigs or API groups where inside the corporation, where I know I work at Riot, we have one in the Pacific Islander group. So it might be good to reach out to those at different companies because they house people like me who had to be down this kind of boring. And that may be a good, like, kind of alternate, sneaky outreach way to get a hold of more people to buy your product. Because I know a lot of people that might be everywhere.
I love that. So I want each of you to answer this starting here. What happens next? You leave Nalukai, you go back into your lives. Do you want to continue this?
Absolutely. And we're all very passionate about this idea. We've already discussed potential connections that we have and how we could further expand this project, maybe to other schools, maybe to other communities. But the main piece of this game is to collaborate with local artists and designers, discuss with them what are the next steps and how we can make this more of a reality.
And I'm super passionate about this project as well. I think it'd be a really cool idea to continue this after Nalukai. Plus, we got to keep our partnership with the Sisters Boutique going, so we got to get that. And I'm just excited to see if we can collaborate with the bigger brands such as 6 So.
Absolutely. This idea was formulated only 3 days ago. Yesterday, we took a field trip to Hilo Town. And us three of us embarked on a journey, not only to experience Hilo Town and have fun, visit the farmers markets, but also to actually test our product, test our idea, and speak to owners face-to-face, one-on-one. And that's exactly what we did. And from that, we got 3 emails or contacts, and already one person who shook on it and said that they wanted to be a part of it. It was such an amazing experience to see the entrepreneurs and local designers who want this mission, and seeing how many of them truly believe in it gives us the kuleana that this is an idea that we birthed. We need to move forward with it because it's an actual need and it's an actual solution to a problem. It's not even about the money, it's about the mission, and it's about the impact that we want to make.
Big round of applause, please.
Aloha everyone, my name is Sherry.
I'm Molly.
I'm Kai. And I am Darini. We are Hina Ea.
And we are terrified.
Let us tell you why.
Last June, the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade, stripping the federally protected right to an abortion from women across the country. Although Hawaii is among the states that still uphold the right to an abortion, having that right is different from having the ability to exercise it. Abortions are just one component to women's reproductive health care. something that the entirety of Hawaii has little access to. Along with abortions, OBGYN clinics provide services like prenatal care, gynecological exams, family planning, and more. The access to these services is in danger. This year, the annual conference on obstetrics will be held on Maui. Ironically, the only private obstetrics practice there closed its doors just this April. This means that there are over 118,000 women and girls on Maui and neighboring islands without clinics designed for their bodies.
As a young woman, I am terrified. I'm terrified for myself. I'm a teenage girl. I know next to nothing about my own body. I'm terrified for my mother. She is undergoing extensive fertility treatments. She wants to have another child, but is constantly being told that hospitals cannot deliver this baby. I'm terrified for my little sister, Alana. She's 14. She's going through high school. If she can't get access to the care that she needs, like birth control or other contraceptives, she's at risk of becoming one of the hundreds of pregnant teenagers here in Hawaii. Research has shown that when women aren't able to get access to the healthcare that they need, countries have increased rates of teen pregnancy, healthcare disparities, and domestic violence, paired with decreased economic activity and women's rights. You may be wondering, why don't we just build another clinic? Unfortunately, it's not that simple. All of the healthcare providers we have spoken to said that the high cost of living and lack of incentives have caused a severe physician shortage across all of Hawaii. We at Hina have a vision to one day provide sufficient access to facilities and care for all. As we continue to work towards that goal, our interim solution will bring awareness to this issue and provide immediate relief to women across the state.
Our name, Hina represents our commitment to fostering a long and prosperous life for everyone. Hina in Hawaiian specifically represents a Hawaiian goddess and the longevity of a prosperous life. On the other hand, Ea represents and embodies the essence of life, breath, and the strength to rise up. At Hina Ea, we are going to take a 3-step process in order to help women on outer islands to get the care that they need and to be able to go to their appointments. First, our donors can give. We at Hina Ea will connect our donors through partnerships, and then everyone will receive. So, let's backtrack a little bit. Let's take a look at Kai's little sister, Alana. If Alana gets pregnant, she's going to need care. I know this may be uncomfortable to think about, but this is a reality in Hawaii. Hundreds of girls get pregnant as teenagers, and thousands of women and girls on a daily basis cannot access the care that they need because of the lack of clinics. So, let's say Alana needs to get care. First, she's got to pay around $1,500 to get an OBGYN procedure. This in itself is already a staggering price. But on top of that, add $200 for a flight to Oahu, the only island with somewhat of enough physicians, and then add on a hotel cost, around $200 a night at minimum per night. Last but not least, there's going to be other miscellaneous costs, such as ground transportation and other fees, that will rack up. And all of this in total comes to $2,100 for one night in Oahu. One night to get a procedure that she needs. So, Alana, she can go on our website and request funding for transportation and hopefully in the future help to cover her healthcare procedure needs. After she goes on our website, this is where our donors step in. So, you or our donors can give a monthly recurring donation or a single-time donation. With this money, we at Hina Ea will connect the donations with our partnerships such as Hawaiian Airlines, Planned Parenthood, and other organizations in order to get girls like Alana the care that they need. This way, not only do our patients, the women and girls of Hawaii, get the care that they need, but our donors in return get notes of gratitude, monthly newsletters detailing women's stories, along with reports of how many women they helped and what an impact they made in our community. But not only does this benefit our patients and our donors, it benefits Hawaii as an entire community. It unites our community and grows our community both socially, culturally, and economically.
Our revenue model combines 3 distinct streams of income. As a nonprofit, we can garner more financial support through government donations and institutional donations, and this ultimately allows us to help more women and girls across Hawaii. This is our first source of income. Second is our donation system. Members of the community can choose to donate either monthly or make a one-time donation, and these funds go solely towards helping subsidize the costs of flights and healthcare for women in need. Targeted advertisements on our website will also pertain to women's health and other topics of interest to our audience to help us bring in more revenue. Foundations and companies who choose to support us through donations and advertising will be represented on our website to show how our missions are aligned and give companies an incentive to support us. Companies like GoFundMe and Well Money currently work to connect the community to help individuals and groups. And companies like Planned Parenthood and Advocates for Youth work to expand access to women's health care. We at Hina Ea are unique in that we combine the best of both worlds. We not only work to expand the access to care, but also access to funding. We are the only organization in Hawaii that seeks to connect the community to women in need.
We founded Hina Ea because we are 4 young women who are deeply affected by this issue, and we want change. We want to connect communities to bring support to hundreds of thousands of your friends, your family, and your neighbors. In the past few days, we have already been able to secure a partnership. Through a generous sponsorship from a local boutique, Simply Sisters, we're able to reach even broader audiences and connect with more people who want to inspire and empower young women and females throughout the state.
Over the last 3 days, we have marketed our nonprofit on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads, and we have already gained 1,200 social media impressions and 54 news site visits. This immediate attention further substantiates the importance of this issue and the need for a comprehensive solution like ours.
So here are 2 things that you can do today. First, if you have any connections to these businesses or organizations or know of anyone who would be interested in joining us in this mission, we would love an introduction. And next, please consider making a donation to our cause. Your contributions, regardless of whether it's a one-time donation or a monthly commitment, has the potential to change the lives of young women like us. We are 4 girls who were given 10 days, and we've already gotten this far.
Imagine how much further we will go with your help.
We are Hina Ea.
Well, that was incredible. You represent the sheer power of not only this program, but of women at large. Thank you for an incredible presentation. Questions?
First off, I'm so proud of communities. We got to, kind of see your initial concepts of your solution on day 5 or 6. Can you tell me about how the journey from day 5 till just day 10, of how you went from, the initial idea of website, connecting healthcare providers, to what you just beautifully presented today? Tell me about it.
Initially, our idea was to make a physician database that listed all the clinics in the state and OBGYN providers to help women find the people who could help them when they need services. But we realized that this didn't really tackle the root of the issue, which is the lack of physicians. So we thought it would be more impactful to help women get to the physicians that they need, rather than simply showing them where they are.
And we're hoping that by doing this, we can raise more awareness and perhaps even bring more physicians to the outer islands that was actually solve the issue.
We just thought it was not enough. It's not enough to simply show people where the resources are. So our team, we wanted to bring the girls to the resources. You can't force people to come to Hawaii and just work, especially because of the shortage. This means that OBGYN on the outer lying islands, like such as Hawaii Island, are working overtime. My friend's mom, who is the sole private practicing OBGYN on Hawaii Island, has to work overtime on call 24/7 to support all the women in need on Big Island. And so we thought, what's a better way than to actually bring the girls to the care that they need?
Next question.
So one is, how has learning, working, day, night over the past 10 days brought you together as four young women?
Well, we've been through a lot of like ups and downs as girls, especially like, as they said, it's been long nights, and it's been a few like delirious nights where we kind of just like, everything is funny to us, and we're like literally rolling on the ground laughing. And I think it's experiences like that that connect us to each other, but us even more to the issue at hand. Because we're spending so long with each other, diving so deep into this issue, we clearly see that this is something that needs to be solved, and we clearly see that together, when we're on the same page, we work together seamlessly and immaculately. So we sort of, we have realized that we work really well together, and we've connected not only as co-founders, but as friends and lifelong partners.
I've made it my life mission as an educator to make education rooted in the identities, in the peaks and valleys, in the life experiences of learners. And Nalukai has in many ways woven that into every aspect of our curriculum. And I think your group really pulled from who you are, your age, your life experiences, and personalized a topic in a really important time with the overturning of Roe versus Wade. Can you talk about the role that your identities played in not only the problem space you chose, but also in the solution you created?
Okay, I think for me, I was really excited to come to Nalukai because this is something that I've thought about. I was telling them last night, and I was like almost about to cry, but this is something that I've thought about pretty much my entire life. I've wanted to do something about this, and it's just really amazing that we have this opportunity and this resource. And I have 3 new friends who are willing to help me tackle this issue, and there's just something really special, really beautiful in that, and I really appreciated my time here, and yeah.
Excited to continue.
Yeah, we're
Excited to continue.
keep going.
What's next?
We're taking this out.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
2 of us are gonna.
Go ahead, Molly.
Go for it, Molly.
We plan to continue this work. I think it'll be super amazing when this takes off, and I think it'll change so many people's lives for the better.
Yeah. So me and Tarini, we are both graduating seniors, and this is something that we want to bring with us to where we're going. So as I said before, I'm going international, I'm going to Germany, and being able to bring the culture of Hawaii and the women of Hawaii with me is just something that's super powerful to not only exposure, but awareness and education.
For me, I'm also going to be in a different state next year, but I've grown up here all my life, so it's important to me to keep giving back to this community that raised me, even if I'm not physically here. So I really want us to continue working on this issue.
And we're really excited. We've already, yesterday, like Olana mentioned, we walked around downtown Hilo, and it was super fun, and we got a chance to talk to Simply Sisters. And we already started talking about maybe, we all live on different islands. So Molly's from Kauai, I'm from Oahu, I'm from the North Shore. So going back, I've already started talking to some of my aunties and uncles who own boutiques, who own different organizations or working with different organizations, and we're really excited to get this off the ground and start work.
I just want to say, what if school was like this? And this goes to those really privileged institutions that have a budget to do anything. What if your school looked like this? What if you were a model for this? I can't tell you how proud I am of you, but it also makes me really impatient to see this in all of the schools that we come from. Thank you so much.
Aloha. We are Pua'a. This picture you see here was taken about 1 year ago, 20 minutes from our current location in Curtistown, Hawaii. My brother called me up and told me he was having a feral pig problem on his property, where basically these pigs were coming in the middle of the night, digging up his yard and leaving it a mess in the morning. You know me, I'm the younger brother, always gotta bail my older brother out of his problems. I'm like, yeah, I'll get the job done. You know, I got a couple of hunts under my belt. We'll get it done, have smoked meat for days, Kalua pig for days, it'll be good. We ended up taking this picture and shooting the pig at around 1 in the morning and tracking it till 3 in the morning on our hands and knees, crawling through California grass. We finally were over it, we're like, okay, forget it. It's only one pig, what could the big problem be?
Just one feral pig can destroy the land and dig numerous divots. These divots become breeding grounds for numerous mosquitoes. These mosquitoes carry deadly diseases like avian malaria that can cause numerous deaths of native birds. This is just one feral pig. Now multiply that chain reaction by the 400,000 feral pigs in Hawaii.
This chain reaction has become evident in Hawaii's native bird population. In 2017, there are 2,500 ʻōkohekohe, 317 kiwikiu, and 454 ʻākikiki.
Today, there are only 2,000 ʻākohekohe, 135 kiwikiu, and as of July 12, 2023, just 4 days ago, it is reported that there are only 5 ʻākikiki left in the wild.
These birds are very culturally significant. Their feathers were used to make cloaks for the ali'i and symbolize royalty. Because we cannot make these cloaks anymore, we tend to forget our cultural practices, so losing these birds is a loss of culture. We need change now, so we've created Pua'a, a platform to facilitate a community effort to moderate the pig population, support our local hunters, and fight against food insecurity in Hawaii by feeding our community families.
Now let's take a look at our app. Say I'm a civilian, a hiker, a camper, or even just a local brother out and about, and I spot a pig. I can use the Pua'a app and place a pin directly on the location that I spotted the pig. From there, I can put in descriptions of the pig, whether it was a boar or a sow, the time that I spotted the pig, and even the color.
On the other side of the app, as a hunter, I can verify my hunting license and complete the checklist in order to ensure legal hunting.
If pigs are on my private property, I could call up, or I could go into the hunter section of the app and call a local hunter near me.
Now that I am verified as the hunter on the app, I can receive notifications of where my client's location is and take care of the feral pig responsibly. In doing this, I can feed my ohana and my community with some killer kalua pig, or maybe some fried up smoked meat, or even one bomb lao lao. Now, once my job is done, I can finally rank up my status here on the leaderboard.
This leaderboard will be utilized in our Citizen to Hunter Connection feature and also through our hunting tournaments that we organize. Having a leaderboard will create competition while also incentivizing hunters to use our app.
So I know what you're thinking. How are we gonna make money off this app? We have 2 streams of revenue. The first being a commission-based stream, where we take a cut of each civilian to hunter transaction that occurs on our app. Additionally, we'll be hosting seasonal hunting tournaments where we can collect entry fees as well as the various donations and other fees associated with this tournament. Basically, we're bringing in the bacon.
Furthermore, there is no company comparable to Pua'a.
Conservationists such as Pu'uwa'awa'a Forest Reserve helps protect native species, but they don't attack the problem from the source. Companies such as Huntfish Kauai are focused on recreation, entertainment, and tourism. However, we here at Pua'a are community-driven. We are focused on supporting local hunters, feeding our community families, and saving our native species.
We are a group of passionate individuals striving to improve the wellness of our native species here on Hawaii. My name is Nalukai Lewis, and I come from the Moku Hōʻike, which means I have first-hand experience of the feral pig destruction.
My name is Ronson Lopez, and I have experience with app development and web design.
I'm Jada. I am the design lead, and I have experience working with native Hawaiian species.
And I'm Kamana, and I am interested in tech entrepreneurship, bringing new solutions to old problems.
Now, we need your help. We need your help to spread awareness about this feral pig problem and to help spread word about our Pua'a app and website. Please use the QR code to access our website and support us in saving these native species. We truly believe that by providing the community with a platform in which hunters and civilians are able to connect, that we can control this feral pig population and see a revitalization of our native species.
Mahalo.
So we talk about the art and science of pitch and presentation. We talk about ethos, pathos, and logos. That was all three on display. Big round of applause. I want you to go from the brand to the deck to the performance. Tell me about that experience and how you did all three so beautifully.
I guess I'll start it off. From the start, we kind of gravitated towards pigs because we thought it was sort of a unique problem that a lot of people aren't talking about. Now he presented it to our group, and we were all like, you know what, it's unique, we'll take it on. We then came up with the geotagging feature because I know there's a birding app where you can geotag different birds around the island, and I figured that could help. And then we sort of just bounced off ideas on how we can keep on improving this. And we came out with Pua'a.
So we all had our own ideas of what we wanted to solidify our solution on, and my group members just chose Pua'a, I guess. I gave Pua'a the problem because I noticed that there's feral pigs all around my home here on Hawaii, and it was just a problem that really impacted me because I care a lot about the forests up Mauka, and I care about all the native species here on Moku Hōʻike, which is why I tracked onto the source, which is Pua'a, which create, again, like what Jada said, divots in the aina, which creates breeding habitats for avian malaria mosquitoes, which also affect our bird population here, our native bird population. But not only that, but Pua'as scratch up against ohia legoa trees, which also they carry rapid ohia death. And each time they scratch on each tree is the spreading of rapid ohia death. So that's kind of like two things that Pua'a are causing for our native species, and it's just a problem that we all need to really engage on and involve the whole community to be aware about.
I think I was really lucky because as our group, we really worked super cohesively, and I think we just have a bunch of different skill sets that kind of come together. So I was pretty lucky with that, and we didn't really have to I guess pivot too much. We kind of just came up with an idea, kind of stuck with it, and just kept going. But I think it worked out in the end. And as far as from the transition from the idea to the pitch deck to the actual performance, it was definitely a journey, but it all came together in the end, and we all kind of supported each other. And I think that when we all kind of went back last night, definitely we worked individually and made sure we all had it down. And I think just having that individual confidence brought us all together, and we just knew that we could rely on each other if we needed to.
Another question, please.
Actually, this is more of a comment of how timely this is.
I'm a Big Island resident too, so we think that it's just us. But just in the news this week, 11 Heights, they're starting to have the feral pigs run into the neighborhoods in droves, and they're trying to figure out how to deal with it. They showed that people's different opinion about the pigs, but it's a big hot topic now on Oahu because of that. So timely.
Go for it.
Yeah, I just want to, first of all, just thanks for keeping it fun and keeping it light. I think that really hit home for me. I think you guys touched on another issue that's very controversial too that you guys didn't bring up, but very relative, is the birth control.
Yeah.
The pig birth control, that was something that was being introduced. A lot of people had these issues, but they didn't know where to turn. When you go to your hunters, you go to the people, these systems that were in place, right? So I love that that also ties in. So you guys are also addressing that issue because that's a hot topic. And very controversial was the birth control for pigs. Another thing that I like too, I worked for the Honolulu Forest Reserve for 4 years. And one of the things you guys are dead on about the avian malaria and the mosquitoes, another thing is climate change. What's happening is a lot of the native birds would go to higher elevations because it was cooler, where the mosquitoes couldn't venture. But because of climate change, the mosquitoes are able to get into higher stratospheres, higher zones, where those birds usually would be able to escape. So one of the things, more of a suggestion, but reach out to the native bird conservations. Work with those. Maybe you can formulate those pig hunts in those areas where a lot of the native birds are going, and that way you can kind of have like this top-down approach. Anyways, not a scientist, just a comment, but a way to keep it fun and light. And thank you.
One comment and question. My neighbors on Hawai'i Island definitely would use your app. You're meeting a real need, so definitely some validation there. And kind of to Kavika's point on the birth control, pig birth control, why did you focus on community as being the solution to your problem?
So we involve the community because the community is like, as one, we can get a lot done. And as a community, Hawaii is community driven in a lot of things. So we involve the community to bring us all together, closer together to get rid of the problem faster. So I believe that in, bringing in the community, it plays a crucial part in this problem for feral pigs.
One last question. One of our biggest goals is connecting entrepreneurship to culture, and specifically Hawaiian culture. And we want Pomai Bertelman and Chad Paishan to be the entrepreneurs you think of, not Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk. And I think you totally represent that. Can you talk about the role of your culture and place when you came up with this, and also as you iterated on it?
I think, coming into Nalukai and thinking about entrepreneurship, I really thought entrepreneurship is you make a business, you make a lot of money, and you're balling, basically. But, so I thought money came first, but after Nalukai, I've kind of noticed the importance of putting your values first. For us, we didn't make this app out of, wanting to make money or wanting to make bacon. But we definitely were focused more on our values and what we wanted to solve rather than the money that we wanted to make. And I think that's so important in, thinking about entrepreneurship, because entrepreneurship is so much more than just making money. A lot of it is the impact you make with that, whatever idea you're presenting or the service you're providing. So.
And adding on to what Kamana said, like when I first came into this summer program, I thought entrepreneurship was all about making money and being like the top dog. But now that Nalukai has provided me with Ike, I know that it's not all about making money. It's what you do for your community, and it's just like very impactful because my community is it's a small community. It's in Keokea, but we all come together to solve problems that's in our community, and it's just a lot of aloha for everybody. So bringing the community together as one is like, that's what entrepreneurship is really about, and doing something that's impactful for your community.
Yo.
Hey, yo.
My name is Arian Tolua, and now he's my great son. And I'm so proud of it because we live in a homestay, which is Kapau, and we celebrating in 2024, we're going to celebrate 100 years. And I can imagine looking at my grandchildren, fourth generation, but the fifth generation. Now I know who I can turn it over to the community. My grandson speaking. I won't leave this place, but he touched my heart about it. We're with the family. And we know we all are family. And the culture thing, if you look around the world and everything, and I'm so proud they had that title, the NAC. This is how we try to bring everything together, and then you give away. So it was an excellent thing that I heard today, and people are on the back too, and I'll be proud that it's community. And I like to say that thank you for putting this program together and many more. And today, hearing all the different groups and the responsibility, it answers my question.
Next group. Everyone, deep breath in. Deep breath out.
Many years ago, Pele traveled to Hawaii from Tahiti, so in a way she's all around us. From the pāku you see at her home in Halema'uma'u, and even in the fiery golden pictures you take when you go to visit her. Except she has a special pilina to her keiki, the pāku. So if you end up wanting to take one of the pāku home as a souvenir, think twice before crossing her or you'll end up in the kanawai a Pele. Olelo no Eau, or a Hawaiian proverb that really related to our problem, is Kike ka'ala ue ka mamane, which translates to when the boulders clash, the mamane tree weeps. We think that our problem doesn't only clash with the visitors, but it also clashes with the native Hawaiians and cultural sites.
The strong connection between Pele and her pāku gives rise to the phenomenon colloquially known as Pele's curse. Although unfortunate, it seems like this curse of bad luck seems to follow around people who take pāku from the islands. Many of these stories of misfortune are shared on social media. For example, Morgan Maxwell states, "My dreams have turned into nightmares. All I hear is marching."
Aloha, we are Ho'ohonua, and we're determined to solve the problem on how visitors are taking pāku from cultural places without permission. I'm Kamaka Frasco, and I am fluent in Olelo Hawai'i, and I bring the cultural aspect to our problem.
Hi, I'm Derek Lavin, and I work with communities to raise awareness, and I am the design lead.
Aloha, my name is Ko Chang, and I'm the technology lead here at Ho'ohonua. And I'm passionate about this problem because recently I've been working on a lot of technical coding-based problems. So it is good to circle back and work on something rooted in my cultural values.
Hello, I'm Noah, and I'm white. But more than that, I'm newer to the islands. I moved here about 3.5 years ago, and when I first moved here, I didn't have a true appreciation for the value of these issues and what makes them problematic. Now, a couple years later, I consider myself much more educated, and I have a true appreciation for what we can do as a community to solve these problems. An education campaign or an awareness campaign worked for me. I don't see why it can't work for other people.
So,
That leads us to our problem. Every single year, 1,250 packages containing pohaku are returned to the Hawaiian archipelago. Not only is this a major inconvenience, but it clogs up the DLNR, the post offices, and our airports, and it wastes vast amounts of vital resources that we need as a state. Additionally, it's a lose-lose situation for everybody involved. On one hand, you have the pohaku that are being taken from their natural environments and is disrupting the natural ecosystems. On the other hand, you have visitors who are taking these pohaku and then are suffering the effects of kanawai pele.
At Ho'onua, our solution takes a double-headed approach. We first spread education with our social media, our website, and our hashtag #NoTouchMyPohaku merchandise. We believe that this will solve most of the problem of people taking pohaku from the islands. For the few remaining knuckleheads who test pele and still decide to take pohaku, we will provide a return service where they can be relieved from the kanawai pele.
So, on the topic of merchandise, introducing our No Touch My Pohaku unique custom t-shirts. Not only do we have one design, we have 3 designs. Each one with a different approach so it can appeal to a vast, much more wide demographic. Now, if not touching our pohaku is something that you can't do, and you really just want to take a rock, introducing our Touch This Pohaku Lava Rock Plushie. So now, you can take a lava rock home.
The profits we make from our merchandise will allow us to operate. The profits from our merchandise allow us to operate our return service for a break even. This means that we only charge customers for the shipping fee and we'll take care of the rest. We also provide a 15% discount on our Touch This Pohaku merchandise whenever a customer completely successfully returns a pohaku. As far as how to complete a return, it's very simple. You go to our return service form on our website. You fill out where you took the item from, how big the pohaku are, and other details. Then, based on your description, we send you our custom package where you can pack the pohaku and send it back to us. And then, upon receipt of the pohaku, we will return them to their homes with the proper traditional protocols.
We have been working really hard on our social media platforms such as Instagram and TikTok to reach as many people as possible. On our TikTok and social media, we have skits and educational lessons and much more. Social media users are directed to our website, and on our website, we dive deeper into kanawai pele, Hawaiian values, our return services, and our very swag hashtag No Touch My Pohaku merch, and also a page to learn more about us.
Recently, we gotten a lot of engagement throughout all of our social media platforms. For example, Instagram at Ho'ohonua Hawai'i. We gotten 1,800 views through across our Reels and Instagram posts. And on TikTok, we've gotten 2,500 views at Spicy Rocks 808. And on our website at www.ho'ohonua.com, we've gotten 241 visitors and 91 of them are unique.
All of this, mind you, all of this engagement we have had in the past 3 days since we started our social medias, which is a testament unto itself that our solution and these problems are real issues that people care about.
The current solutions to this problem are not cutting it. The signs around the parks are only exacerbating the problem. They blame the visitors for taking rocks instead of actually trying to implement any solution. The Hawaii Volcanoes National Park have quality educational content in their brochures and their website. They also provide cool alternative products in their gift shop, but they don't have the large-scale awareness that we have with our social media and our website. They also recently got rid of their rock return service, which was previously bringing back a lot of the pohaku to the parks. They cited that it was costly and it was inconvenient to operate. It seems like nobody wants to take accountability for these pohaku, so we will.
So what can you do? You can take this information that we've shared with you today, you can spread it. Talk to your friends, talk to your family, talk to people, and we can accomplish the first level of our goals.
If you know of anyone who has taken a rock from one of these cultural important sites, let them know of our return service and we can return it for them. Or if you're just a local auntie or uncle who loves awesome products, do yourself a favor and buy some of our hashtag #NoTouchMyPohaku merchandise.
Bipono, malama di aina.
Mahalo. forget to visit our website. QR code's up there.
Fantastic job. Questions?
So what do you do once they return it? How do you return the rocks?
So we were researching a couple of like the protocols that are used to return the rocks, whether it be wrapping it in tea leaves or some sort of other orchid protocols. But we were doing some more research on that aspect of how to return it safely to their home.
But essentially, we bring it back to the environment it was taken from in a respectful manner, and we restore it to where it once was.
Talk about the evolution of this business that you folks created. I think for people who don't know from the last 10 days that this group has pivoted a lot as well. Maybe take me from the initial problems that you guys addressed and the solution you guys had to what it is now. So,
in the beginning, I don't know. So it started it was a rocky start, no pun intended. But we didn't know exactly how we knew our problem. Kamaka came at the beginning with this problem like really well identified. She knew what she wanted to work on. We were like, yes, let's work on this as a group. Let's do this together, yeah? But we didn't know how we could get our solution to be a viable one that would truly get attention and could truly make a difference. So for people who don't know, I know a lot of the founders know, but we presented this project about 3 days ago on our first trial run, and it was completely torn down. Everyone, or not everyone, but David so kindly gave us the criticism we really needed to hear and told us we basically had to restart. So we decided to come in with the merchandise appeal, make it a nonprofit, allow the profits to be kind of recycled back into it, and now we have this project. Any additions?
This question is for Jerica. Jerica, you've shined. Sorry, I was just cutting some onions. And Jerica, I'd like you to describe what this program has meant for you and how you've grown through it.
Coming into Nalukai, I was really scared. Like, this is way out of my comfort zone. I thought entrepreneurship was like many of us, make money, make a business, make money, live life. But I came here and I met all these wonderful people who are very critical and very important resources for what I'm going to do, hopefully, back at my school and for my own community, learning from all of the skills that we learned with each other. I think Nalukai was a really important journey for my life and how I'm gonna now take everything that I learned here and how you guys have impacted your guys' own Hawaiian community and take that to impact my own Micronesian community here in Hawaii. So thank you.
Kamaka, human connection is such a core part of entrepreneurship for us. Yeah, I'm asking you a question. Day one, we put you in shares. We made it okay to be authentic. Night of day two, we had that incredible autobiographies. And throughout the entire experience, kind of team building and human connection have been big. Can you talk about the role of human connection and maybe how you've grown in that space too?
Well, I feel like I've really grown from the first day, because the first day I was really shy and wanted to keep to myself. But then when I was put into groups like this one, I was able to be more comfortable and open up to them because of how much they made me laugh or how much they wanted to hear my mana'os or my thoughts. And it just made me feel like really appreciated that they ended up choosing my idea out of all the bars. But yeah, I'm like really thankful for these guys and all of Nalukai.
Yeah. So you're solving a very serious problem with humor. You did it so well. Why humor? How did you land on humor?
So we just ended on humor because we did a lot of testing in our solutions. We did like a lot of assumptions testing, like which ways of talking to the people who are interested were the best. So we tested like whether like advocating how much you could be fined for these rocks was going to get the most attention, or whether it was like the cultural perspective, or whether it was like how would you feel if somebody took something from your home. But we ended up landing on that it was most important to focus on like the cultural aspect, and that's how we wanted to design our social media in that way.
Yeah, and we wanted it to be fun and interactive in a way, so people would want to know, learn more about our problem, and be more aware of it when they travel to other places besides Hawaii.
And I think the best way that people are like open and receptive to an idea is if you can make them laugh. And it's like, it's how you connect with people. Like humor is like the fundamental way to connect.
Round of applause.
Hi everyone, we are Pu'olo Hawaii, transforming waste and rewarding change. The lovely shirts you guys have on today, or the phone in your hand, the meals you eat, these are all luxuries. The school that I attended for many of the beginning years of my lives had to provide those luxuries because many of the students didn't have them. When I sat down to eat in the morning with my friends or at the lunch table, they left their trays looking like this. They ate every bite, because not all of them knew where their next meal was coming from. Yet, as a state, we waste a ton of food. In fact, we waste over 260,000 tons of food every year. To put that into further perspective, that's over a quarter of our food supply. And as a result, nearly 1 out of 2 families in Hawaii experience food insecurity.
In those 7 seconds, Americans generated enough food waste to feed 87,000 people. In Hawaii, that looks more like 370 people experiencing food insecurity that could have eaten a meal. In a state where 330,000 people don't know where their next meal is coming from. In Hawaiian culture, a pu'olo is a bundle of food wrapped in la'i or tea leaf. Hawaiian culture is known for its emphasis on the importance of food reverence and sharing of resources. Hawaiians believed in the principle of lako, which means abundance and bounty. Hawaiians didn't let their fellow community members go hungry. In times of need, they donated food to people who were struggling to find resources. Here at Pu'olo, we believe in the Hawaiian olalono'eau of he ali'i ka aina he kawa ke kanaka. The land is chief and the man is servant. So, in a place where food was revered and people weren't allowed to go hungry, why are the businesses running Hawai'i throwing away so much food when our people need it the most? Here at Pu'olo Hawaii, we are working to solve this issue.
We are Pu'olo Hawai'i. We are an upcoming business that is promoting sustainable food waste in businesses all over the state of Hawaii. We have created an app that promotes. We have created an app that has promoted users the businesses that have good food waste practices, and yes. Here's a mock-up of our app. Let's say I wanted to grab a quick bite. I would open the Pu'olo app and I would scroll through the places and businesses, and if I click on a certain one, I can learn more about their food waste practices, and if I do decide to eat there, I can confirm it on the app and I'll receive 10 points, knowing that every 5 visits, I get a coupon.
So, what makes Pu'olo different from other companies? Well, at Pu'olo, we want to combine these 3 things: food waste and sustainability, a rewards program, and a rating system. So, there are many companies and businesses across the state and across the nation that are working to combat food waste. But the issue is, how do people know about them? how are people encouraged to support these places? And then on the flip side, we have a lot of companies that offer you rewards for eating there. But how are they working to combat food waste? What are they actually doing? And then a rating system is a similar issue. There oftentimes the ratings are based on how good the food is or how the customer service is, but there is little to no consideration for food waste. That is where Pu'olo comes in. We want to combat food waste by giving people the knowledge of these different restaurants that are working to combat food waste and rewarding them for it.
So that begs the question, what gives a restaurant or a business a good rating? Pu'olo will rate restaurants A through F. So an A might mean that all of their food is donated to food banks, charities, and different organizations, and that food that is not good for human consumption might be composted or donated to a piggery. And it also means that employees might get discounts at the end of the day or a free meal possibly. On the flip side, it's pretty self-explanatory, but an F does none of those things. It doesn't donate any of the food. It all goes into landfill. Employees don't get any sort of discount, and as a result, a lot of food is wasted. So to further illustrate this, we identified 2 restaurants on both sides of the spectrum. So first, Dunkin' Donuts. It was actually a trend on social media to go behind Dunkin' Donuts after hours and go to the dumpsters, and you would pull out full bags of still good donuts, all food that was just thrown straight away. As we said, for an F, no food is donated, and employees are prohibited from taking any of the merchandise after hours. On the other side, we identified Duke's in Oahu as an A. They donate their foods to organizations like Aloha Harvest, which then donate to schools and different communities. And in fact, they donate to so many different organizations that we couldn't even fit it on the slideshow. Non-edible food is also donated to pigs or either composted. And I think they donate to some other person that managed the composting side of things.
One of the best examples we encountered while going through our stakeholder interviews was Kenichi Pacific. Kenichi Pacific is a Kailua Kona-based restaurant owned by the parents of Nalukai's very own Mei Kanata. At Kenichi Pacific, Kenichi and Keiko Kanata give a free meal to their employees at the end of the day. That's where most of the food excess goes. Only 10% of all food excess is thrown away, and most of that is all fish bones. That is why we gave them an A. This is an amazing example for restaurants all over Hawaii, big and small. However, at Pu'olo, we don't just focus on restaurants. We also cater to grocery stores. An example of grocery stores is Hawaii Island's own KTA Superstores. At KTA, before COVID, they used to donate to piggeries and local farms for composting, but also during the pandemic, they stopped that, and now they only sporadically donate to food banks, which is why we gave them a C. They're awesome, but they're not really getting to the point. However, on the contrary, Safeway in Hawaii has no policy whatsoever what happens to food waste. Every ounce of food from Safeway is thrown into the dumpster with no consideration for food insecurity, people that need food, and the environment. All food is thrown away.
So next, going back to the browse feature, on our app, websites with good, or not websites, businesses with good food waste practices will be displayed higher. So as a consumer, I'll be more likely to shop at those businesses with good food waste practices. And also, as a result, other businesses like Dunkin' Donuts with an F, they're going to realize they need to catch up to the forward thinking of these restaurants with good food waste practices. And
So one part of our Pu'olo's business model is through partnering with businesses and restaurants to provide users discounts to their places. And here's our QR code for our website. So Pu'olo will be free to use, but there's also an option to upgrade to premium for a $1.99 monthly charge. The difference between these two is that Pu'olo Premium will give users no ads, higher value discounts, extra coins added to their account monthly, and you can also book a reservation through the app, and you will also get 24/7 customer support.
So who are we? We are a group of teams who are just as human as you guys. We sometimes waste food also. This is just from lunch a couple of days ago. And we understand that you may have a big plate that you might not be able to finish everything on that plate. But that is why at Pu'olo we want to connect you with businesses that know what to do with that waste, because it all doesn't have to go in the landfill. There are so many other options. So at Pu'olo we are working to connect you customers with other businesses that not only support you guys in combating food waste, but also support that company to continue their practices. So a little bit about us. My name is Amia. I am the graphic designer as well as the website designer at Pu'olo.
Hi, I'm Mana Kwarti. I'm the creative consultant, so that means I do things like create posts for the social media and manage our social media presence.
Hi, I'm Nel Santiago, and I'm the media management for Pu'olo.
Aloha, my name is Kaniela, and I am the cultural consultant for Pu'olo.
So as a team, we love having fun as we work together. And we designed our app and website to reflect who we are as a team. We are fun, engaging, and basically awesome. And our app is the same way. But in order for Pu'olo to get off the ground, we need your help. If you are a restaurant or a business that is working to combat food waste, please consider partnering with us. It's a win-win for not only the both of us, but also for the environment and for humanity. And we also need beta tasters. We need people to, once our app is developed, to download it and give us honest feedback so that we can continue to grow and improve.
Join with us to save the planet, save money, and most importantly, save humanity. Please visit our website right here at pu'olohawaii.org. And by the way, in the duration of this presentation, Americans generated enough food waste to feed 174,000 people. Mahalo.
That was a fantastic presentation. A lot of movement, moving around. Thank you so much. I want to throw a question from the audience. Go for it.
So if you have a company that, a restaurant that's an F, how are you creating incentives for them? Like what are some of the steps that you'll be taking to create incentives?
Through the app, we hope to generate a lot more traffic to those restaurants and businesses with good food waste practices. So they'll see the value in having better practices from the traffic they're not receiving as a result.
Carlo.
Question?
Yes.
Yeah.
Or just, a conversation.
What are the reasons restaurants throw away food or discourage employees from taking home food? I used to think it had to do with laws or fear of litigation for spoiled food.
It's that, but also the fact that it's just convenient to throw out food. Restaurants really don't want to deal with the issues that come with food that might be contaminated from humans actually touching it. So it's just easier for them to throw away the food instead of actually going through the process of sending it to a composting facility, or even food that wasn't touched by humans, like extra food that they extra ingredients, actually sending that to a food bank. It's just the fact that it's mostly laziness. But also there are policies that restaurants have to follow concerning food regarding contamination.
Mana, I remember the first presentation you gave on day one, and I'm deeply moved by the presentation you just gave. How did you go from kind of really struggling to connect to having the presence that you had today?
Honestly, partially, I don't know how it happened, but then again, I think it was Nalukai. I think there's a lot of really good instruction, especially with the speaking and having a story to connect with all of you, and to hit those pathos, logos, ethos, all in your presentation. And it was just kind of a new format that I feel like it wasn't really taught in school. I feel like in school you bring up some analytics, you give some boring overview of what is going on, but here I feel like you bring a lot more of you're heart and soul. I know it sounds kind of cringy, but
it's not cringy.
But that is pretty much the difference. You build a connection with your slide deck almost, and really feel it as you, I guess, like give the presentation.
Amia, it was really cool watching your leadership grow and evolve. You're an incredibly strong videographer, really strong technical skills, and it was wonderful how you helped your team and fostered that in them, but also how you were a fantastic project manager. Can you talk about the evolution of your leadership throughout Nalukai?
Sure. So I'll say my leadership prior, I pretty much am a one-woman show 90% of the time. So it was definitely a new experience working with the team. And I've got to say, my team was really easy to work with in a sense. Like, they were just super, they always contributed, they always pushed each other to be the best. And I feel like for me, we talked a lot about like the different ways of leading. And I've always kind of been that one, like, I'm going to lead from the front and just take this thing and we're just going to keep going. And it was really, I really wanted to challenge myself, like, okay, how can I lead from beside? Like, how can I support my co-founders? How can I lead from behind? How can I encourage them? How can I encourage them to push themselves and try new things? And I feel like for me, it was really actually an amazing experience. Like, instead of just kind of being the one, especially with the videography, like, I felt like I really wanted to just take my hands off and encourage my co-founders because they're all super talented and super gifted. So it was actually really awesome to just like step in those different roles of leadership and to watch other people flourish in their own gifts. It was actually really encouraging to me.
Big round of applause.
Which camera is it? Which camera is it? The live stream is a little bit over there. So I had to say hi to mom and dad. Okay, I want everyone to be honest right now. Everyone in this room, be honest. No lie, okay? Raise your hand if you recycle all your batteries. Raise your hand if you throw your batteries away. Disappointed. Raise your hand if you have a plastic bag or a drawer and you just stuff it in there and it just sits there. That's interesting. Because
one of the main problems with battery recycling and e-waste in general is lack of access. Domestically, their e-waste and battery recycling is few and far between. As we move to renewable energy, we increasingly rely on batteries for energy storage. The problem with that is it's resource intensive, and that's quite bad for the environment.
The Hawaii State House of Representatives introduced House Bill 1576, which states or mandates that retail stores should include battery recycling programs. This emphasizes, or the lack of the bill passing emphasizes the lack of state laws that regulate this environmental issue.
And I also want to emphasize that there's currently really only one kind of legislation relating to this, and technically it is legal for you to throw away your alkaline batteries, so that's your AA and your AAA. Technically it's legal. The EPA strongly recommends it, but a strong recommendation isn't enough.
So, we saw firsthand how many people contribute to landfills with their batteries, right? The problem with that is that there's dangerous chemicals inside of these batteries, such as something called cadmium. Cadmium is a cancer chemical that causes cancer of the lungs, the prostate, and the pancreas. These chemicals get into our soil and our water systems that we drink from. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to be drinking chemicals in my water.
That's why we created EcoCell, yay! So here is a quick overview of our multi-pronged approach. As you can see, it all starts with awareness. So just spreading the word, having everyone know what's going on.
And the underlying solution for this is legislation.
In a few words, who would like to know the implications of regulation? Well, after a bill passes, then that increases incentives for battery manufacturers to take in their original batteries. And that saves the environment one at a time.
However, legislation is going to take a long time, and especially living here in Hawaii. And so we have came up with a sort of stopgap solution. And again, it starts with awareness. So let's take a journey. Let's say we have a customer. Customer's name is Cami. Cami has found out about our program through our marketing campaign.
Our marketing campaign covers what the consumer should do with their batteries instead of throwing them away, which is like either turn them into us or like keep it at home. On the next slide, you'll see one of our awareness campaigns on social media, depicting the various effects of throwing away your batteries, and hopefully it'll get them to like stop throwing them away.
So now that Cami knows about this campaign and she knows the negative effects, the next step is to turn in your batteries to us. So that can be done in one of three ways. You can call us and we'll pick up your batteries for you. You can drop off your batteries at one of our drop-off boxes, or you can mail them in. And this is an example of what one of the drop-off boxes would look like. These would be placed in outside of grocery stores. And as you can see, there are logos and advertisements for local businesses and companies, and that's because we want to really connect the community. And this would also be one of our revenue streams where companies could pay and have their advertisements on our recycling boxes.
Our fourth solution is partnership. Through working with places like Call to Recycle, Redwood Materials, Battery Stewardship Council, we could get grants to receive funding for these boxes. Working with EnviroStream, who actually has a machine that can recycle these batteries, we pretty much have the problem solved with this.
And Gavin mentioned storage, and storage is extremely important because we need a place to, after we collect all these batteries, we need a place to store it in a safe and efficient way. So the main point of this storage solution is that it must be climate controlled, because the lower the temperature is, the less likely it is for these batteries to explode.
Did you know 720,000 pounds of batteries are contributed to landfills each year from Hawaii alone? That is equal to the combined weight of 360 Toyota Tacomas. 95% of those batteries can be recovered. Only 5% are recycled today. That's $354,000 worth of lithium waste.
And here we see a quick graphic of our competitors currently. At the top you can see we have Home Depot, battery bills, and then just your regular trash can at home. And on the left, these are all important features in a successful recycling company. And I don't know if you guys knew, but awesomeness is actually one of those features. On the top, on the right, you can see that we check off all these boxes. And you might be wondering why there's an X next to the free row, and that's because while you can drop off your batteries for free at our recycling boxes, you can also pay a little extra, and as mentioned before, you can mail it to us or you can call us and we'll pick it up.
So, the problem with the other recycling programs. There are only 2 Battery Bills locations, one on Oahu, one on Big Island. There are only 2 Home Depots, both on Honolulu, participating in the recycling program. This creates inaccessible recycling for you at home. 16.4% of people living in Hawaii are unable to recycle their batteries. That doesn't include the people on Oahu and Big Island and Honolulu that aren't able to go to one of these locations. So you're probably wondering, why us? What connection do we have with the problem? Why us 14 acres?
Hi everybody, my name is Dylan. I used to work in consumer tech repair, so I fix iPhones, that type of stuff. From what I noticed working in that type of field, that I've noticed that batteries are like the component that needed to be replaced the most. So for example, your new iPhone. In 2 years, the battery capacity, or like the amount of charge it can hold, greatly decreases. So that's how I kind of sort of identified that problem and then presented it.
One thing is for certain is that I work all over the Big Island. And one thing I've noticed is that all my job requirements require batteries. That is why I support the solution in recycling batteries.
Aloha, I'm Kim, and as an environmental activist and executive director of Hawaii Youth Climate Coalition, with a computer science background in software development, I was curious about where do the stored components go in batteries after torn down use. And that makes me wonder what happens after.
And my name is Caden. I'm just a guy. And I have a lot of batteries at home, and they're just sitting in this plastic bag. I don't know what to do with them. So I feel your pain. It's okay.
There's so much more we can still achieve. Now that you know about EcoCell, you might wonder, what can we do now? Donate your batteries to us. Don't throw them away. Let us be responsible for the storage of your batteries until they are able to be recycled. Push the regulations. Let the state know this issue is widespread.
And obviously, regulation is going to be the best, most permanent solution to this problem. But as for EcoCell, what we are looking for is engineers, and we're looking for storage experts. And these two types of people, they will help give us valuable information and mentorship to continue this kind of stopgap solution. Thank you very much.
One of the things we really try to do is make feedback actionable. When you receive feedback, there's a plan in place to change. Tell me about the feedback process, from the beginning to what you received last night. Are you ready?
Caden's got something to say. So.
Okay. So we went through 2 major feedback processes from the facilitators. The first time, I was more open to it. Because I wasn't really too sure which direction this would take, so I was more open to it. We got a lot of good feedback both times. We got a lot of good feedback. Second time, let me put it simple, we just got grilled. It was crazy, but I don't know, it was all helpful, and I think a big part of that was having a positive attitude and not having a growth mindset. So taking things that you can and adding it, and just knowing that we don't know everything, and there are lots of other resources that can help.
Anyone else?
All good.
Dylan, we're all proud of you. We're all proud of the growth that you showed. We're proud of the awesome person you came in as and the awesome person you came out as. What are you proud of? What are you proud of yourself for?
I think for me, I'm not necessarily proud. I don't know how I would describe it in that way, but I'm glad that I'm glad that we as a team decided to take on this sort of problem, even though it's quite difficult and quite technical, and tried the best we could, honestly, yeah.
Questions? Comments?
Chris had a couple of reframes that were really important to the way that you guys thought about the problem. And I'd be curious, just for everybody that wants to know or doesn't know, what was your mindset going into those reframes, right? You were saying oh, we got super grilled, right? How did you then have to shift the way that you were thinking about your problem to allow for your next solution to come?
I could speak, I think, for all of us when we say that we really, really did get grilled. After that one session where everybody gave feedback, we really sat at a table and we were like, okay, we're gonna fix this. And Me and Dylan stayed up till 3 in the morning fixing slides, fixing scripts, fixing our overall presentation, and then at the very end of at the day after that, we went through a whole nother reform after that whole process, and it just shows that our business ideas are constantly evolving. And with us 4 members, it never stops with evolution because everybody has a different idea. And those ideas were all amazing, and they all contribute to our overall eco-cell solution.
I want to make it abundantly clear that lights out that night was 10:30.
I apologize. Apologize.
Carlo, question.
So I'd like to personally say, I think you got built partially because you guys took on a really, really, really tough problem. And this next question relates to that. So this problem actually really scares me. How is learning about lithium waste and the lack of immediate solutions in Hōʻike made you feel as young Kanaka and Kamaina?
I think you can feel that one, Dylan. You're the one working with tech. You got that one.
I think for me personally, I find that the lack of solutions and like how one solution creates another problem is like quite difficult, and it makes my head hurt. That's basically it.
I have something to elaborate on that. And with the broad issue of climate change, this is something more narrow that we can go on, that we can expand on. And besides that, working with the Navajo University Department of Transportation, it has given me more initiative to work on this project.
I just, again, I want to call out the power of connecting identity to education. And Kim and Dylan especially, Dylan pulling from your experience in tech repair, Kim pulling from your experience in legislature, and pulling from a great team leader in Dyson Chi who modeled that before you. Again, I think if we can do this more in our schooling system, it's great. And I think, again, just a call out to all those great, incredible startup communities that are emerging on Oahu, Kauai, and around. One thing I would love to ask them to do is not just have mainland KPIs and metrics of success. I would love them to think about ventures and businesses that come from Kanaka and come from Nalukai alumni and youth around the world, especially here in Hawaii, and have those be big metrics of success in their work. Team, you did a fantastic job. Our final team.
Let's go this way.
Aloha, my name is Dane Keahi, and I recently just graduated from Kamehameha School's Kapalama and will be attending Yale University in the fall.
Aloha everyone, my name is Adam Anchetta. I just graduated from Mid-Pacific and I'll be attending Northeastern University this fall. Dane and I have had the privilege of going to private schools. In private schools, college counseling to student ratios look something like this. It's going to be about 1 college counselor to 60 students, meaning we have that individualized and personable access that starts in our freshman year.
So I go to public school. I go to Kalaheo High School in Kailua, Oahu, and the ratio of college counselors to students at my school looks something like this. So we have 1 college counselor on campus responsible for 840 students, and that statistic is not unique to my school. Because of the high number of students that public school college counselors are responsible for in the state of Hawaii, we usually don't get our first meeting until about the start of our senior year of high school. And because of this, we don't have the personalized counseling that we need to first of all get into college, and especially selective schools that some of us are aiming for. And on top of that, we don't have access to the scholarships that we need to pay for college once we get in.
In a study done by Forbes in the years prior to the COVID-19 pandemic, it was found that private school students made up only 3% of the entire American senior class. However, they accounted for almost 40% of incoming freshman classes at Harvard, Yale, and other elite institutions.
And to add on to Dane, what we also learned from our research is that in the fall semester of that same year, 2 out of 3 private high school graduates enrolled in a 4-year institution, and during that same time period, only 2 out of 5 public school students enrolled. So from this research and more that we've conducted, we've learned that one factor contributing to the discrepancy between public and private high school college enrollment rates is the lack of personalized college counseling.
We have realized that this is a problem in public and private high schools in their access to opportunity. It limits who can go to college and who cannot. And we've recognized that this is a problem and that we want to make a change.
And so we bring you Can Go College, our nonprofit organization dedicated to providing Hawaii public school students with opportunities to make connections and access scholarships that will make higher education more accessible. So what we do, our service, we connect students seeking guidance with incoming or current college students who can give them personalized advice and attention. And we do this all for free. Anybody who's interested in being a mentor or a mentee can follow the prompts on our website.
Students or mentors can click on one of these buttons and they can go and fill out a very quick form that ensures that they are paired up with other mentors or students with similar interests, aspirations, and other backgrounds. It is also very important to note that this is not an application. Instead, students are registering to have access to our service.
And once these mentors or students sign up, once the mentors sign up, they will be going through a 3-hour lesson on college admissions and from college counselors and college admissions officers to have the new and relevant information to help these younger students.
So we launched our website and Instagram on Thursday, and in the span of 18 hours, we were able to confirm that there is a very high demand from Hawaii public school students for personalized college counseling. So while we have seen the high demand, what we need now is the supply of counselors in order to meet that need.
And the way that we tested this was in the span of 18 hours. What we did was we posted on Instagram stories. We got about 1,200 viewers. From this, we got a click-through rate to our main website of about 500 visitors, or 42.4%. And from that, we got 17 new subscribers, and now we need mentors to find them. To note, we have also received multiple messages on Instagram expressing excitement and appreciation for our service.
To support our business, we'll get our funding through grants and advertisements. Organizations that we will be targeting are Hawaii Community Foundation, Kamehameha Schools, and private investors where they can go and donate on our website. Advertisers that we will be targeting are SAT and ACT prep courses, educational businesses like Kumon and Duolingo, and school supply companies such as Fisher Hawaii, all of those who have audiences catering towards ours.
And with this, grants and ads, money, or revenue, we wanted to first address a professional website and possible mentor incentives. This will then lead to an easier user interface, more mentors, and an overall improved solution.
So if you take a look at this slide here, here's a visual of our competitive landscape. So we have 4 resources that Hawaii public school students can currently access in order to receive college counseling. Starting from the left, we have the traditional model, which is the college counseling that Hawaii public school students receive in school by the DOE. And to the right of that, we have a private college counseling service that they can pay for outside of school. And finally, 2 examples of organizations that actually provide free college counseling but have eligibility requirements, such as age, ethnicity, and income. So what makes Can Go College different is, first of all, the peer-to-peer aspect. Who better to teach about the college admissions process than somebody who just went through it? Also, since we are targeting Hawaii public school students who are mostly middle and lower income, our service is free because we want to make it accessible to everyone. And adding on to the accessibility piece, While we do expect that most of our audience would be high school students, we won't limit people seeking advice and opportunities based on their grade level, nor their ethnicity. And we're also in the process of compiling a scholarship database that all Hawaii public school students will be able to access in order to find the opportunities they need to pay for college once they get in. And while we don't yet offer our own private scholarship, as we expand in the future, it is something that we'd like to do.
So you must be wondering, why us? As someone who went through the college application process, I know that it's intensive, brutal, and very grueling, even with the help of a college counselor. So with my expertise and knowledge and the training that we're going to provide, I can help mentor these younger students who is in the place that I was in.
As a result, Adam and I will be the first two mentors of Can Go College. And we also have an extensive network of other peers who will also be mentors for our service.
And as for me, this year I have the honor of serving as the student representative on the Hawaii State Board of Education. So I have firsthand insight into the needs of our 180,000 public school students across the state of Hawaii, and I'll have extensive opportunities to introduce them to our solution. Please take a minute to scan our QR code, which will take you to the homepage of our website. Share the link with any students who you believe might need access to this resource, or incoming and current college students who could be potential mentors. We'd also love to connect with you if you have any leads regarding potential advertisers or sponsors. And of course, since we are students, we're always learning, so any advice is greatly appreciated. Thank you very much for your time, and we hope that you will join us in our mission to make higher education more accessible for Hawaii public school students and make them realize they can go college. Thank you very much.
That was incredible. A completely viable business that I hope continues well after Nalukai. Hawaii has one of the highest concentrations of independent schools, otherwise known as private schools, and it shows. And the rates of those students going to universities is far above the rate of public schools. Ari, how did your life experience as a public school student impact the solution you chose and the evolution of the product?
So for me, I guess going to public school, I was one of the people who was really gung-ho about college admissions. So my freshman year, I was trying to arrange a meeting with my counselor, and it was just really frustrating to keep getting pushed back because it's not her fault necessarily, my college counselor. I love you dearly, Ms. Inouye. But she prioritizes the seniors who need the help right away because they're going. And for me and some of my friends who are also interested in the college admissions process, we weren't able to find the resources that we need, the scholarship opportunities that we were looking for in order to pay for college, because of course coming from Hawaii, that is, a big deal. So that's what shaped my personal experience coming up with the solution.
In even the most innovative schools in Hawaii and the country, school is really done to students. It's a passive experience. One of the biggest things we're trying to challenge, and you all help us challenge, is this shift from passive to active. To us, that's the definition of an entrepreneur, and we hope that's what we hope that's the definition of schools. How has this been an active experience that you had agency and a role in?
Okay. Active experience, I feel like a lot of us are sitting around, we're talking to each other, and we're complaining about the issue, but for us, it was really important to actually come up with a solution, and once we came up with that solution, to band people together around it, because we're very fortunate to have in our Nalukai cohort an engaged audience. We have the students going off to college, we have the people still in high school, and so as far as the active part, going on through this process and then having people give us constant feedback because they're stakeholders in the issue and they know about it, helped us improve our solution at an exponential rate, I think.
Any questions from the audience?
I'm so familiar with Kendall College because I'm a retired teacher. And when you're a retired teacher, you're not really retired. You're always moving on. So, and also as Kupuna, my worry story is that, yes, I want you to go to college, but I'm coming back. What would make you want to come back, and what is here that you could develop?
Well, mentorship for our company is very Hawaii based, right? We have kind of like a generational thing where students who are reaching out to mentors, they will be the next mentors, right? And it's all Hawaii based. So they will be able to help the other Hawaii students and kind of cater towards that. And that's how they're kind of giving back to the Lahui.
Any other questions? Go for it.
For the two of you that aren't named Ari, speaking back to what May had initially introduced with her speech about, I guess, Nalukai developing the whole self. For both of you, a little bit older than the rest of your cohort mates, what have you folks learned about collaborating with the rest of the team at Nalukai?
I guess I can speak of this. Well, I would have to say my collaboration is a little more unique. I'm a little like weird, but I don't know. It just makes it like a fun environment for everybody. And I don't know. I feel like I really bonded with these two and with Annabelle. And yeah, we just like having that kind of energy and that funness of our group. It just made work so much more like enjoyable.
Oh, and then for me, I don't know, these two are awesome people. It was just super easy to work with them. They're familiar, they're super kind, they're super caring. They care about this issue. She was the one that actually came up with the idea, so. And then we had a great team leader who really helped us to like focus our ideas. And then we had this whole very supportive program. We kind of just made this into reality.
Just really quick, to add on to Adam, it might have been my idea at the beginning. I'm the only one from public school, so it's not your fault you guys don't know about this. But by the end of the experience, it is our idea, and I'm very grateful for the two of them.
No.
All right, I mean, I'm focusing on you because you said you go to conferences and you will be able to like open up the door. I predict there's going to be a flood. How will you both be able to handle the amount of flood that's going to probably happen when a ton of public school students find out you're available? Like, do you have a training model that's going to pick up a bunch of people quick?
Yes, so as I'm sure, for context to Emma's question, the affirmative action policy that was just passed, there's going to be a lot of students that are seeking out college, but since our service is targeted to Hawaii public school students, I believe it was 50% of that population identifies as Native Hawaiian or Filipino. And then there's, of course, other minorities. I don't remember the exact percentages. But I do expect there will be a flood of students. We're very fortunate to have a network here. Already 2 people headed off to college who also know people who know people. Of course, we know in Hawaii it's not what you know, it's who you know. And so we hope to start training these mentors. We've only had 10 days. But as time goes on, to train these mentors, make them accessible. We have people already signing up to be mentors and to be counseled. So it's something we hope to expand.
A huge round of applause for this team. So, to close out our program today, you can just stay here. We're going to call all the teams up. We're going to have a question that many of you can answer, about 5 to 10 minutes. And then Austin Stewart, our executive director, will close us out. Can I get all of the founders to come up to the front? And founders, when you're answering the question, try to be right here so that we can see you. So good.
First off, congratulations. That was huge. And your presentations were polished. Your teamwork was evident. Your aspirations were on full display, and they were not reduced in any way. Some of the problems that you are that you've identified, that you have brought to our attention, don't have easy solutions at all. There are very few places, as we learn, for battery recycling. It is a crime that young women don't have access to OBGYN care on the outer islands. All of your problems are huge. They're impactful. They matter to you. So thank you for your energy, your considerable energy that you put into understanding with greater nuance, developing solutions or developing steps along the way towards solution. I can't thank you enough for the passion that you put into these. It was really, really clear. So, big thank you. So, I said in the beginning, my job was to provide some greater context. So it's not just about the final project that you just got to see the final product. I'm going to ask you to please offer one thing that has had an impact on you, or one thing that has surprised you about yourself, or one moment that you pulled up some courage or confidence that you didn't realize you had because you worked together as not just groups, but as a large team. The goal is to get your entire team across the maze. And you have, beautifully. What's one thing you learned about yourself in this process? Not just this process, but the entirety of the process. Who'd like to start? Who'd be willing to start?
Mine first.
Yeah.
So for me, I think a big thing was really, like with our smaller group, was really opening up. Like we had like one session we were all just sitting there and just talked about things that, different opinions on things, and I'm usually very closed off because I'm like, okay, I don't know if I fully, like I know I've been like, in the past, like, okay, I don't agree with you, I don't really want to talk to you, like, okay, you're weird. But it was actually really cool in my group and a group as a whole, like us all opening up with each other, and like it was kind of like, okay, wait, like there are things that we may all agree on, things we may not agree on, but I think it was really cool just actually having that space for conversation, and I think that was something that was really special to me.
Thank you. Something you learned about yourself. Yeah.
One thing I kind of learned, it kind of goes back to her statement. When you get criticized as a team rather than solo, it kind of provides more of an evolutionary process rather than, oh, back to the drawing board. Like at certain points, some members agreed with something, some members didn't. So we found a way to incorporate both. That's why I feel like in daily conversation, in real life, outside of Nalukai every day, you get criticism from someone and it makes you feel bad. Here, it doesn't make you feel bad. It turns it into a way to evolve your idea. That's nice.
One thing I've learned about myself was understanding each other's perspectives. In my team, we were kind of the complete opposite of each other, but we leveraged those strengths, and we eventually made it work. And like the maze, think outside the box. Literally, we got everything. Well, not everything, not everything, but we eventually made a compromise.
So I think that when we go to school, we're kind of taught to like suck it up when you're in a group and not vocalize how you're feeling within your group. And and I think that being at Nalukai has taught me to be very authentic, not only to myself, but to my teammates, to my co-founders, and not to hold in my feelings and be completely honest about them. And like just having your feelings be validated by others and feel like they're worth something rather than having to hold them in.
It could be a challenge for you to step up and speak at this point to a group. I especially invite you. What have you?
It definitely was a challenge for me to speak up in a group, but I kind of learned that sometimes it could be all in your head, and I realized that I actually am capable, and learning to just trust that process. And I definitely have like my group members to thank, because they were always so open and willing to listen to me and never made me feel like I was like an outsider. So just feeling that welcome and support really helped me just come out of my shell more.
Who else would be willing to speak?
I think that the way that this camp was set up, I was able to interact with a lot of different people, not just in our group for the project, but also from day one, just meeting new people, eating lunch with everyone. So I became very comfortable with everyone, and I became a lot more confident and comfortable in like group settings than I usually am. And I've now learned that even in settings where I'm not as comfortable with everyone that I know, or everyone that's there, I do have the power to speak my mind and to be open, even in communities that aren't as supportive as this one.
For me, I think what I learned is that I am capable of effectively working in a team. I'm the person usually, like, when there's projects and I have the option to work on it by myself or in a group, I go by myself because it's hard, I guess, for me to feel like I'm relying on other people for different ideas. But what I've learned from this experience is having Adam and Dane like tell me, that's not going to work. Or like, you need to think about this because no one's going to invest in that. Having those outside perspectives really doesn't mean that my ideas are necessarily a failure, but it means that there are other ways I can think about it, and I've learned about the importance of having diverse perspectives when working on solutions, because everybody has something to contribute, and it doesn't always have to be like a one-man island.
Would anybody be willing to speak about the role that culture played in your own development through Nalukai or in your projects? Our visits to sites, our time with practitioners, how and why would we do that at an entrepreneurship camp?
I'm Kanahele, but growing up on Oahu, I never really grew up too much in my culture, right? Like obviously a lot of cultural influence. I am proud Hawaiian, go to Kamehameha schools, but that's the last thing I was thinking when coming to Nalukai, right? I'm an entrepreneur, and I dream of building companies and amassing a lot of money and then investing it. But coming to Nalukai, it's changed my perspective on what it means to be an entrepreneur and what it means even in my own identity, and reconnecting, on day 4, going to the local ia and finding out, there was a relative there who was able to give me insight on a part of my identity that I wasn't that clear on. So the combination of the culture aspect and my identity, I think, not only transformed me as a person, but transformed me as an entrepreneur in a way that I don't think if I came to Nalukai, I would ever experience. So mahalo.
Anyone else like to speak on any of the above topics or one of your own choosing?
Just really quickly, I wanted to say, I think, kind of adding on to what Tarini said, is the actual structure of Nalukai is so cool, because we spent the second day after first meeting each other sitting around in a circle and crying, basically, if you don't know what autobiographies are. But I feel such a connection to the people behind me, which is so weird, because I didn't know them, obviously. We were complete strangers. But I think I really learned that there's always room for growth, and that being surrounded by people who push you is just like, it's an amazing thing to be surrounded by so many passionate, wonderful, funny people. And I just think that's really cool.
Opportunities. Oh, okay.
I guess what I really appreciated from this opportunity was learning how much power we can have as like one unit. Because like individually, I'm sure all of us can do like pretty cool things, but together, I mean like the problems we're trying to solve aren't small. They're like pretty global issues. And it's like, I feel like we genuinely could actually solve those if we work together with that and like take each other's ideas and work as one. So, yeah.
One of the biggest things that surprised me about coming here was how fun teamwork can be. In my team dynamic, Sha would leave the room for 10 minutes. She'd come back and you have Noah, Amia, and Mana busting their butts to get our company off the ground. And I'm just in the corner bouncing off the walls. But like, literally. But the thing about Nalukai is that it teaches you also the value in being super open with everyone. Like Kai said, on the second night we sat in a circle as a cohort and cried together. But there's a value in that. It's being open to the point where you're comfortable telling someone that idea is not really gonna work, but also understanding maybe why they might feel why they feel and having sympathy for them. And then how Amia talked about how our team was just the day before yesterday, we were just like sitting in our classroom, we were supposed to be working on our presentations, talking about issues that society normally really doesn't want to talk about. But just that, I noticed that our team dynamic completely shifted, and like we were just like pushing forward super hard after that, and that we were able to complete the program as a team. And I'm super proud of my whole team and the whole cohort and how far everyone has come and everything that we're all going to take away from this program.
I'd like to know how many of you actually learned to kind of look at your thinking and hold it differently than you did when you first came in.
I just want to say, do you want to say something? Sure.
No.
No? Okay. I just want to say we've been really, really honored to spend these 10 days. And congratulations on what you did today and what you've done together. And we're so excited to watch what you're going to do next. So I want to give you one more round of applause. You can take your seat and then put your
So storytelling has been, if not the most important thread of Nalukai, one of. And before Austin closes us out, I want to shout out two incredible storytellers, Miranda and Shyla, who through videography, photos, through culture, through just incredible technique, have been telling the story of Nalukai, and over the course of the next few weeks, we'll be sharing it out with the world. Can I get a standing ovation for Miranda and Shyla? Come on up, 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 come on up. One more round of applause, thank you. I can sit.
So that leaves me to close this out. Thank you, everyone who attended today. Thank you again to our generous donors who supported this program. Thank you to the dozens of facilitators, mentors, guest speakers, instructors, team leaders who have brought us on this journey to deliver this essential education to our youth here in Hawaii. If you've heard something here that connected with you, we ask that you consider showing us a bit of support either through donation or reaching out to us to say, I know some people who are really interested in helping to facilitate programs like these. I know some people who are interested in attending programs like these, schools that would like to have either professional development or multi-day sessions where we can bring this sort of learning to them. We are looking to reach every young person in Hawaii, so help us scale up. We appreciate you so much. Thank you to the 2023 summer cohorts. Thank you all of our attendees, and mahalo. Have a good day.